4.9 The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. London, late 19th century. 1.
Basil Hallward was working in his studio on a portrait of a beautiful young man when he was visited by his pleasure-loving friend, Lord Henry Wotton. Henry was very impressed by the portrait and wanted to meet this charming youth, Dorian Gray. This worried Basil.
It's the best work you've done. I must see Dorian Gray.
I don't want you to meet him.
2.
At that moment, Dorian arrived and, to Basil's distress, invited Henry to stay and watch. Immediately, Henry started to charm Dorian with his clever ideas about life. Basil continued painting, but Dorian was tired and went into the garden. Henry followed.
Lord Henry, are you really such a bad influence as Basil says?
I believe the only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it.
3.
Dorian listened wide-eyed to Henry's words about the horrors of old age. He had never thought about this before. He viewed his youthful self in the finished portrait and felt troubled. It would never grow old and ugly. He would sell his soul to remain young forever, like the portrait.
Youth is the one thing worth having. Your beauty will go.
I will grow old, but the portrait will never be older. I would give my soul for that.
4.
Dorian and Henry soon became great friends, and Dorian began to seek new pleasures around London. One day, he confided to Henry that he had been to an old Shakespearean theatre in the East End and fallen in love with Juliet, a beautiful young actress called Sybil Vane.
Who were you in love with?
Sybil Vane. Night after night I go to see her play. I worship her.
5.
Sybil lived with her poor mother and brother James, who was preparing to sail to Australia. James was frightened for his beloved sister. She had told them of her great love of Prince Charming, whose real name she did not know, but who came to see her play each night.
Oh, I love Prince Charming.
Who is he? I'm sure he means you no good. If he does you any wrong, I'll kill him.
6.
Finally, Dorian asked Sybil to marry him. He invited Henry and Basil to see her act, so that they could see why he had fallen for her. She looked lovely as Juliet. Then she spoke. Her acting was terrible, meaningless. Dorian, embarrassed and furious, ended the engagement.
You have killed my love. What are you now? A third-rate actress with a pretty face.
Dorian, don't leave me.